Hi, my name's Heather O'Neill, and this is my Module 5, Understanding My Community of Oskaloosa, Kansas. I apologize, my webcam is not working no matter what I've done. I cannot get it going. So here I go with just the narrative. The standards I've chosen are 2D to communicate effectively with stakeholders. You know, as an administrator, it's not only the staff in my building or just my students that I'm concerned about. I need to be concerned about how my changes affect the community. My changes need to be, an improvement for the community for the support and student success. I also chose standard 3. The school leader will use research and data to design and cultivate a supportive, nurturing, and inclusive school culture. As an administrator, it's vital that I, find out the information about my community and I understand that information in order to make a positive support, group for our school and the success of our students to further the success of our community. This assignment gave me a chance to get a better understanding of the hard and fast numbers of the community and not just what I thought was going on. As an administrator, this is important so that your decisions can be based off of the needs of the demographics of your community. The sociological inventory, Oskaloosa is a small community. It's the county seat, so we have the courthouse in our square. It's very low diversity. We do have a varying level of income. We have the county jail and the sheriff's office along with the emergency management office that houses our ambulance. We have a variety of small businesses. We have lots of things in town. We have a grocery store, a Dollar General. We have an eye doctor. We have the health department. We have a doctor's office. We have the Guidance Center for Mental Health Services. We have lots of realtors. We have a title office, a public library, and several restaurants. We do have many, though, that commute for work. They do not work in the community. But we do have very similar things going on at USD 341. We have low diversity. We do have some out-of-district students, and we are also a cluster site. So as a special ed teacher, I have several students from different districts that are bused in each morning, and we are 3 schools in one building. As a small town, we have lots of customs and traditions. We are a small town with lots of school pride. In the fall, the school hosts something called Bear Stalk, and it's kind of a kickoff to the fall sports. We call each of the sports teams down in Stuco and do an introduction, and then there's usually some sort of a scrimmage. We do a homecoming parade with a downtown pep rally that has a dance and a bonfire. In the winter, we have Bear Bash to kick off the winter sports and activities. We are a community that is small, and so sometimes change is hard and it can be met with pushback. But usually with communication and understanding, the changes that are trying to be made are usually able to be accomplished. We have lots of community events. A few of them are Old Settlers. This is a 3-day event in the summer. We have lots of vendors, a street dance, tons of community activities going on. There's a fundraiser 5K. Some other things that the Lions Club and one of the churches host is a Halloween parade with a trunk or treat. We do a holiday show that the After Prom Committee hosts. And there's bell ringing, and there's lots of different vendors going on with a quilt show during this time. We do the holiday spectacular where Santa comes to town. There's a breakfast. We light up the square and so forth. The Lions Club hosts an Easter egg hunt in the spring. The Rotary Club hosts Sweet for Treats around Valentine's Day. One of the local churches hosts a veterans breakfast. Knowing the characteristics of our population, we have around 1,500 people. We are down about 5%. The median age is 36 years of age. Our population is the majority white at 86%. We do have 6.4% Hispanic or Latino and 5.9% of 2 or more races. 98% of our population are U.S. citizens. The average commute is 22.5 minutes. The average car per household is 2. The average property value is $93,500, and only about 67% of the community owns their own home. We have about 150 students on the free lunch in the elementary and about 52 students on the reduced lunch in the elementary. We have a variety of communication channels in the community. We're not big enough to have a news channel by any means, but occasionally we are on the Topeka News. We have a newsletter that goes out weekly on the elementary side called Bear Facts. That also has any community events going on in there as well. We have a monthly PTO newsletter. We have the school website that's always updated and shown on the screens around the school and the digital screen out in front of the school. We have Facebook, we have Twitter, we have School Reach, which can text or leave a message or send an email to anyone that has signed up for that. And then we also have the Oskaloosa Independent newspaper. We have lots of community groups around Oskaloosa. We have several 4-H clubs that the students participate in. We have the Lions Club, we have the Rotary Club, we have Chamber of Commerce, we have several church groups. We have the Jefferson County Service Organization, the American Legion, and the Oskaloosa Ball Association. Some of the school groups are PTO. At the elementary level, we have Barebackers. At the junior high and high school level, we have SAD, which is Students Against Drunk Driving. We have STUCO at the junior high and high school level. We have many after-school clubs on the elementary side. They meet weekly from 3:30 to 5 on Wednesdays. This started last year. We have a variety of things from Japanese club to ukuleles to board games to crocheting to cooking club and all kinds of things in between. We have a life group that meets on Mondays weekly, and we also have our after school program, KRR, and then we have our building and district leadership teams. The picture I've decided to post is just a fun one about our PTO carnival. We have 2 teachers volunteering for the whipped cream flame. Our leadership around town, our Chamber of Commerce, definitely made up of several of the business owners around town, our city council, our mayor. We have several church groups that are host events and support events in the community. We also have our school board and superintendent who both support OBA and work together providing facilities for the community. The picture I've posted is our superintendent. He tagged the line, "It's great to be a bear," when he was a principal many, many years ago. So it's kind of a local famous saying. So everybody in town knows that it's great to be a bear. The community leaders, the Chamber of Commerce, they're very active in supporting a lot of the community events. Many times they are the lead, sometimes they're the support, but they are definitely active. The city council, the same. Sometimes they're pushing the, at the forefront, and other times they're just in the supporting role. They work well with the school and with the Oskaloosa Ball Association, so that way we can kind of pool some of our funds together to improve facilities and things like that. The mayor is also active in the community with some of those issues as well. He's really good about posting updates on Facebook about what's going on in the community. Again, the church groups around are very supportive. They host sometimes. Sometimes they support events. And then our school board and superintendent, again, they're very supportive of the school and the community, especially of the OBA. They work really well together on providing, basketball gyms when it's needed for tournaments and practice. They also are really good about working and splitting some funds for baseball and softball season. Knowing the economic conditions, there's around 765 people employed by the local economy in Oskaloosa. Many of those are in the healthcare social assistance, around 115 people. Around 110 participate in some sort of education around the school. Accommodation and food and more of a supporting role is around 90 people. We have 8.33% in poverty. The median household income in Oskaloosa is around $52,000. The average male salary is a little over $60,000, and the average female salary is just a little over $43,000. There's 2 cars on average per household. The average property value is $93,500, and only around 68% of our population own their own home. Knowing our political structure of our community is important. This is a very giving community. It's not a, high income community, but everybody is definitely willing to pitch in and help each other out. We have harvesters, which is a food pantry. We have church groups that do a buck a bag sale for clothing and school supplies, especially at the change of seasons. It's definitely a conservative community. Roughly 62% voted Republican, 30% voted Democrat. We are state and federally funded at the school level, and we are a Title I school. We have minimal tension around town. We don't have any gangs. There's no racial tension, no religion tension. It's just and our staff is a well-rounded, team-oriented staff. There's minimal tension. Occasionally, it's usually due to schedules that one school feels like the other school, even though we're all in one building, is getting a better deal than the others. Other than that, we're a pretty good staff that can work together and overlap as we need to. Some extra sources of information. We have school records that are available in the district office. We recently started a parent survey. We did it in the spring last year that was done online. We hit it really hard when parents came in on the elementary side for parent-teacher conferences. We also did a staff survey last fall and spring, which helped with some of the, communication things or just improving some things on the staff side. The board minutes are always available after the meetings. Like I said, PTO provides monthly minutes of our meeting, and then we also provide a monthly newsletter. Many of the teachers either do a class newsletter or a Facebook page, which keeps parents informed about what's going on the daily and the weekly status of their class. Our power structure, members of the community are definitely at the top, then trickles down to our school board, our superintendent, our administration, then our teachers are certified staff, and then our aides are classified staff. If there's building concerns or changes that need to be made, these must be discussed with your administrator. And usually if there's good reasoning and good data to support your change, then usually it's approved by the building principal. We have minimal diversity, which equals minimal issues. We're not a very diverse culture. We do sometimes in the spring offer Lent meal options. And if there's other, changes that need to be made as those come up, we definitely are wanting to meet student needs. So it's kind of a case-by-case basis if something new were to pop up. And as long as it's just discussed with our administration, usually those changes can be made. Our power structure, knowing our power structure, our superintendent is a well-rounded and educated person. He definitely keeps up with the latest about what's best for schools, as well as listening to what's best for the community. He's very active in the community. We currently have 3 administrators, a high school principal, an elementary principal, and one that is an assistant to both. She splits her time between the schools. Each of these administrators have a different background, but it makes them definitely a well-rounded team. Measuring public opinion, we have lots of support at our events, especially athletic events. Our academic event support is increasing. We have about 75% attendance at the elementary level for parent-teacher conferences, and we've gone to something different at the junior high and high school level, doing a narrative, which is a paragraph on each student to at least share with parents what's going on with their students since the attendance was so low. And lastly, public opinion surveys. We just implemented an online survey last year for parents, and I think that went over very well. I feel like administration felt like they got some good feedback and honest feedback from that. We also did a teacher survey online. Again, I think that they got some good feedback from that. That's allowed for some more communication. And then, our elementary administrator, he's always available at drop off and pick up times, and he gets definitely a lot of feedback from parents that want to share their concerns. So we definitely are open to public opinion and want to make things better for everyone. Thanks for listening. Please feel free to leave your comments.